Okay, hi everyone. Full confession, I recorded this whole video kind of flawlessly and I don't know how this happened because you record and then you check and you record and then you do the whole thing. And somehow when I did my last adjustment of the camera, the top part of my head was cut off. It just looked funny. So I'm redoing it and I'm hoping all the information I imparted, all this wealth of knowledge that came through in the other video is gonna come through in this one because it was just perfect. Anyway, today we're going to talk about the Rowe India 12 and isn't she gorgeous? I got it right away when it came out, but I didn't, as you can see, it's now, we're going into April and I haven't reviewed it because what happens is I get caught up with work and paid collaborations and other commitments. And then I can't get to the work that I love doing, which is product reviews and helping you all sort through your purchases and make your wish lists. And so while I will suggest this, if I know not everybody uses Instagram and some of you really don't like that app, I get it. But if you could just DM me there, if you're considering it and you need my input and I haven't done a review, then it's sort of like if I can answer those questions, I will. We'll talk about the style, the pricing and availability, which is, that one's a tough one. But he came in the 12, just shy of 12 inches across, like 11.75. It came in the 15.75. I had it in my pre-ordered bag. So pre-orders are open to certain customers and we can select right after the runway presentation. And I wanted it and I thought maybe I'll order it. But then at the last minute, I removed it. But luckily when it came in store, I had contacted my rep at the New York City boutique and he sent it over to me. And I compared it to the 15.75. I had them both at the same time. Immediately when I got them and put them side by side against my frame and all the photos and how I felt about it, considering the fact that neither one was going to go over the shoulder, then the shape and style of this bag, I think was more flattering for me in the 12. And that's why I kept it. And then I realized how lucky I was that I did keep it because within 2 days of my receiving it, Ashley Olsen stepped out with her India 12. And within about a week, it was very difficult to find, and specifically in this color. This 12 came in an ivory as well, and I know the 15.75 comes in a warm brown and like a mid brown, and then, so there's a few variations. The two side by side are very different. This 12 is an ashy smoky brown, and the other brown in the 15.75 is warmer. And I preferred this one because it looks almost like a muted washed out black, but it's a brown. As for the styling of the bag, it's a top handle tote. As I mentioned, neither one's gonna go over the shoulder. It's got a zipped closure. The leather on this one is a very, very soft grained deerskin. And I mean very, very soft. A follower of mine messaged me right after she got hers. She'd taken hers out for a spin and hadn't done anything aggressive to it and she lost a chunk of leather from the handle. And so it's delicate. The hardware on it is silver. It has this lock feature, which I like, and then you pull down on the tab to lock it. And the key is tucked away in this leather piece, which has the Rowe logo discreetly stamped into it. And the Rowe logo is also stamped into the bag there. The bottom of the bag has no feet. The inside of the bag is lined in leather. It's got a good deal of space in there. I'm gonna warn you that the leather lining is also really, really soft, even softer than the grain deerskin. And it has one open pocket and one zipped pocket. It's gonna fit everything that you'll need. It fits my full wallet, my hairspray, it fits keys, makeup, cell phone, no problem. This is not like the Margot 17. It's not a work bag. It's not gonna fit your shoes and your computer or your lunch or anything like that. In that regard, you wanna go Margot 17 if you can get it is now the question. I like it because it's very different, and for me, in my wardrobe, I don't like that I can't put it over the shoulder. In terms of, like, if you were to consider this type of bag and you're looking for something different from Margot and not a crossbody, it probably would come down to this bag and the Domino. The Domino is the newer one that came out in this more recent collection. And that one does go over the shoulder. That is a great benefit of the Domino bag. Though the shape is it's bigger and it's more rectangular, and it has, the India 12 has softer edges. The other thing is the Domino comes with a very steep price tag and a smooth saddle leather that will very much scratch up, but it is just decadent. It's very dainty and very beautiful. Incidentally, these leather pieces here, The shape of these attachments really remind me of India. I used to travel there more often before I had kids, before I was married, and this reminded me of the legs of the furniture in the drawing room in my cousin's house. The Row thinks of this as an updated bowling bag, and it is. When I was a kid, I had an elongated Adidas bowling bag, and it was kind of cool. What I like about this bag versus the Margot's, in a way, what makes it different is that the Margot's very new. This style is really old. I mean, so old, people have seen references to it in the past. There's a bag that Miu Miu made and Hermes, and it reminds them of those bags. And designers take inspiration from each other all the time. So what's really nice is that I could see this through the decades of how it might be styled in a more feminine way with pumps and a fitted blazer, and then more relaxed, as we saw on Ashley, in a very edgy and effortless way. It's going to go any which way, and the beauty of this is because of the size of it, it'll go nicely from day into the evening. If you're going out for dinner, it's very pretty, very elegant, very light, before you get your stuff in, of course. So pricing is $38.90 US for the 12, and I think this, I'm hoping it gets replenished. I don't know if you're going to get it in this color. I'm hoping it gets replenished. I am seeing more of the 15.75, and I'm not sure if that's because they produced more or the demand for the 12 was more, and then that's since sold out. From time to time, they do pop up at wholesalers, and I think it's worth checking continuously because Nordstrom, as an example, has a very generous return policy, maybe too generous. And sometimes people return their bags like months later. So keep your alerts on and keep checking. You never know. And eventually maybe it'll show up on pre-owned sites. I'm going to give this as a warning now, I think maybe in all my videos, but since the Row has peaked, is peaking, is rising, risen, since the Row is doing well, very well, there are more dupes. And I would just say that you're safest to buy from a reputable wholesaler or from the Row directly, or from someone you trust who's selling their bag, because I mean, I sell my bags from time to time, but find someone that you know is only going to have a real bag, or ask the questions, get the pictures and things like that. Yeah, that is the Row India review. And if you have any questions, if I missed anything, leave me a message as always. And I'm hoping to come back with more reviews sooner rather than later.